Today, leaders in Prince George's County announced a slate of bills to make universal child care a reality. The research group Child Care Aware of America crunched the numbers for Maryland. As of 2024, it costs between $15,000 and $22,000 a year for toddler care, and that's just for one child.
Our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell joining us now live with a look at how the county plans to cover costs for thousands of kids. Brad?
Yeah, and they don't really know how many yet either. Look, you broke down the problem. It is hugely expensive, and in an area like this where the cost of living is so high that it takes double incomes to raise a family, people have no choice but to try to find someone to help them with their children. So the council says they've got to do something. They don't know exactly where they're going to end up on this, how much help they'll be able to provide. The council chair says they have to start down that road. Alexis Perry is a proud new mom. She was also a school teacher, but is finding it nearly impossible to be both.
As a working mom, it is extremely difficult to find quality care.
The joy of motherhood coming face to face with the nightmare of the cost of daycare.
You're talking about a lot of child cares are charging $375 a week. That's about $1,500. On average, people are bringing in $4,000, $5,000. If you are a single mom, how do I fit that into my other finances?
Prince George's County Council Chair Krystal Oriadha faced the same challenge until her parents moved just to be able to help with her baby. Now she wants the county to make moves towards universal child care. She and the majority on the council now supporting a package of legislation which would offer scholarships to parents in need, grants to help daycare facilities open, protection against unbreakable child care contracts, and pay for it all by charging liquor and tobacco stores, as well as self-storage facilities, $5,000 per year. And she says that's just a start.
My long-term vision would be able to have a free to sliding scale around childcare that made it affordable for every family, because it's a necessity. When you talk to a lot of people about the ability to go back to work, the reality is that childcare it might be more than what that person's going to make.
Yeah, so Oriadha was joined today at this press conference by enough council members to constitute a majority on the council. So while some of these bills may see some amendments and some changes, it is very likely that they will pass and that there will be some help coming. Oriadha can't say just how much, and it's not going to be right away, probably at least a year before they can get something going, but she says they are starting, as I said, starting down the path. Michelle?
Well, Brad, we heard the council chair talk about her long-term vision. How far does she really want to go with this?
She wants to go pretty far. You know, that was a question that I asked, and I specifically said, hey, look, are you talking about adding grades 0 through kindergarten here to our public system? And she said essentially yes. And she said one of the first places she wants to look is in aftercare programs, because in the schools, the elementary schools, they already have the infrastructure. But she says, yeah, ideally she would like to have something like that available to those who want to use it, and somehow or some way find a way to pay for it, at least to cover what folks can't afford, I should say. So she wants to make it affordable. But yeah, she wants to expand this pretty far.
Yeah, and you said a very key word, paying for it. When it comes to the county, we know the state as well are dealing with a deficit. Seems like a major hurdle there. What's the reaction to this $5,000 fee for businesses?
Yeah, and I asked a couple specific questions about that. Do you know exactly how many of these businesses there are and how much money you would raise? And she said, no, staff will be digging into that. I talked to a couple of liquor store folks, didn't want to go on camera. They obviously thought this was a terrible idea, $5,000. Well, you look at a business and you might say, well, that's not very much in the course of a year, but a lot of these places are moms and pops. They don't run on big margins, and for them, it's a significant hit. Some of the bigger storage companies, maybe not so much, but you know, Oriadha said, look, a lot of these are not businesses that they really want in the community. They've taken steps to limit them, and so she's willing to do this even if those business owners are unhappy about it. In Springdale, Brad Bell, 7 News.
All right, thank you, Brad. We'll see what happens there. Maryland offers a couple of programs to help families and child care providers. Right now, more than 45,000 children are receiving aid through a child care scholarship. It can be used for child care for kids who are too young to go to kindergarten and for those already in school. New scholarship enrollments, though, were frozen last May because funding ran out. There's no word on when they will reopen. The state also offers a pre-K expansion grant directly to providers. They must serve families with income levels up to 300% of the federal poverty level. New applications for that grant program will close tomorrow.